People massively overcomplicate SEO. There are agencies charging thousands of dollars a month sending reports full of technical jargon that do not move your revenue at all. And there are people online telling you that you need to fix 99 errors and 14 warnings before you do anything else. Well, none of that is going to get you to position one. After working with multiple e-commerce brands and generating over $1.5 million in the last 12 months, I've realized it comes down to just 5 things. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what they are, so let's get into it. So the first thing is doing keyword research that targets keywords that you can actually win. And that's an important thing to remember there, because a lot of brands will do keyword research wrong because they go after high volume keywords without asking or thinking if they can actually rank for them. And a keyword with, say, 50,000 searches a month means nothing if your brand, if the brands ranking for it have high DR, high authority, and they've been building authority for years, and you're just a small e-commerce brand. You're not going to rank for those keywords. So keywords that you can actually win are the most important thing when it comes to keyword research. And so how do you actually find winnable keywords? Well, the wrong approach is chasing broad, high volume terms where established brands and massive domain authority have dominated for years. You're going to struggle to outrank them. And so targeting keywords that have 50,000 plus monthly search terms, they're generally the most difficult. And so again, ignoring the keyword difficulty score, no consideration of your buying intent, and then competing against DR for 70 plus domains. Like that is all the wrong approach when doing keyword research for SEO. So the right approach, the way that we do it, is find keywords with real buying intent that match your e-commerce brand's store and that your site has a genuine chance of ranking for. So the right approach is finding keywords with real buying intent that your site has a genuine chance of ranking for. So for example, this food brand that I work with, instead of chasing broad category terms, the individual product keywords that we found had 100 to 1,000 searches on them. And that's where we kind of built our target from. And so we filtered by low keyword difficulty. We prioritized the exact purchase intent of our customer. We scale this across hundreds of products, and then traffic just continues to add up, and it converts, which is the most important thing. And so those numbers may sound small in isolation, but when you apply that across hundreds of products and collections, then the traffic can really add up fast. And more importantly, it converts because the intent for those keywords is there compared to going for these really big keywords that don't necessarily have the same intent. So the other critical mistake is not checking whether your keyword matches the type of page that you are building. So if you target an informational keyword with a collection page, Google's not going to rank it no matter how well you optimize it, and vice versa. So first, search it in Google, analyze the websites, analyze the pages that are there, and then build based off that. And so if you get that right before you build any content, that can save you months of work going in the wrong direction. Google's search engine results page, the SERPs, they tell you exactly what they want. They tell you what is ranking, they tell you what to see. So if you don't have any tools or anything, just use that and trust it, because that's showing you the exact blueprint of what is ranking for a specific keyword term. Now, the second thing that you need to rank in Google and rank first is on-page optimization that actually gives Google context. Again, important there, the part about giving Google context. A lot of brands miss that out. Every page needs to give Google enough context to understand what it's about and who it's for. And the most common version of a collection page that I see is just a heading, a product grid, and nothing else. And that is costing brands positions and revenue every single day. And so it is very simple in theory, but for some reason, brands will do it all the time. So once you've individually mapped out every single collection page to a keyword that makes sense with the search intent, then you need to have all the elements working together. And so the intro paragraph above the product grid is the most skipped element that I see, but it's also potentially the most important because that's kind of the thing that gives Google the most context straight away, because Google reads pages from top to bottom. And so those things at the top are the most important. And so first of all, we want to make sure the target keyword is in your H1, which is your collection title, basically. Primary keyword must appear in the page heading. This is the first signal Google reads to understand a page topic. It's kind of like the chapter title or the book title. Like that's the most important thing. Make sure your target keyword is in there. Intro content above the grid, 50 to 100 words. You don't need much, but again, making sure that your keyword is in that sentence naturally. Don't just put it there for the sake of it. You need to make sure this is all natural. And the reason we do that is because Google doesn't always scroll through 80 products to find the content at the bottom of the page, which is also another thing that we add on. And then, as I said, content block at the bottom with FAQs below the product grid. This can add more depth, target long tail queries, and it signals topical relevance to Google, so it's super important. It's also a great way to have internal links on your collection pages to other pages. And then the meta title, the description, the URL, all these things, they need to be clean. They need to incorporate your keyword. They need to make sure you're optimized to improve your click-through rate. Make sure that you actually encourage people to click in Google so they visit your site. And then the URL slug, just keep it clean. Make sure that Google can read it. Make sure the users understand it. Because if you're looking up at the tab, at least on a desktop, if you're looking at a tab, there's always this little bit of text that shows when you're not in that tab. And so that is also relevant for users to understand what that page is about, because they'll see that if they're scrolling, looking up, opening multiple different pages, if you have the correct things there that tell people what this page is about, they're more likely to go back to your tab, look at your content, look at your products, and actually buy from you. So if you're an e-commerce brand owner and you know you need to focus on these kind of things to get ranking and build up your organic revenue channel, but you don't know where to start, click the first link in the description. This is what we do on a daily basis, help e-commerce brands grow their revenue with SEO. First link in the description, you can book a call. We can go through your site together live, show you what you're missing out, and see how we can get your store ranking number one. Let's get back into the video. Now, the third thing that you need to rank first in Google is internal linking that points Google to your money pages. Now, internal linking is what most SEO providers will skip or do incorrectly. And if you're doing it yourself, I've seen this on so many brands, it's just done so poorly. But it's one of the biggest differences between a site that sits on page 2 and one that ranks first. The mistake I see is people will constantly link from collection pages back to blog posts or to other collection pages that make no sense, and just put in as many links as they want. Like, if people hear about internal linking, they think, oh, I need a link to everything. Like, that confuses Google even more, and it can push authority away from the pages that actually make money. And so we want to make sure that we're linking down the funnel, talk about this all the time, from blog posts, which are your top of funnel content earners, to collection pages, which are obviously your category pages. They receive authority flowing down from blogs, and also sometimes we get backlinks to those pages as well. And then we send that to product pages. Now, this is the thing that not many people know or do properly. On your product pages, don't link away from them. Don't have internal links. Like, obviously you can have your upsells and your cross sells and stuff, but in terms of in-content links, it's irrelevant and it shouldn't be done, because you want to direct people to those product pages, because that's where you're making money. So first of all, it tells Google this is the most important page, because it's kind of like the dead end. It's the final thing. Think of it like IKEA. When you walk into IKEA, you have to go through the entire, whatever you call it, channel, the entire walkway is what I'm thinking of, to get to the finish line. And so this is kind of what we're doing here. We're directing people through your website to your product pages, which is your checkout, which is the IKEA end of store kind of, okay, you've got all your purchases, now you need to buy them right there. So once you get people there, don't tell them to go anywhere else. Don't link away from them. It's so simple. People always mess this up. I don't know why. And then the other thing that I see all the time as well is your anchor text and your placement. So these matter more than you think. So if you have an internal link that is linking from one page to, say, a fishing reels collection, then you should use anchor text about fishing reels, and also mix that up. If you're doing this multiple times across your site, don't just use the same text. Like, make sure it's relevant, but mix it up a little bit. And don't just do a click here or a shop now. Like, those are you're just wasting SEO value right there. And so descriptive anchor text will tell Google exactly what the destination page is about, and then it helps reinforce the keyword relevance of that page. So it's super important. And this goes for your backlinks as well. The anchor text is so important on what is on the other side of that page. And so make sure that you also place the important links early in the page. Links placed higher, they carry slightly more weight because Google reads top to bottom, as I said. Your most important internal links should appear early in the content, not buried at the very bottom of your 800 words of content at the bottom, or whatever it may be. And the compounding benefit of this is that when a quality backlink lands on a page, that authority flows through all your internal links to every other collection or product that is connected to. And then one external link to a blog can push authority to 5 or 6 money pages simultaneously if you set this up correctly. So that's why I want to do it. Again, think about IKEA, how you're directing people to the very end, to the checkout. They get there, they want to make a purchase. That's what we're essentially doing here on your website. We want to direct people to your product pages, and then they make a purchase. Now, the fourth thing you need to rank first in Google is topical authority, which you can build through content depth. Topical authority is how Google decides which site in a niche it wants to trust the most. And it's built through having more depth on a topic than your competitors. So a site with 10, say, well-optimized pages will always lose to a site that has 50 unique, high-quality pages covering the same topic. The keyword there is unique. You don't just want to write content for the sake of writing content. So it's not about having more pages. It's about covering your niche so thoroughly that Google has no reason to send people elsewhere because you've clearly shown that you're the expert on this topic. So if you sell fishing equipment, say, then you want to make sure that your content, your collection pages, your blog posts covers every single aspect of fishing without kind of duplicating your content. And you don't want to just write content for the sake of it, because by doing that, you show Google, okay, well, I am this page is an expert on this topic. We obviously want to show them to more people. And the benefit there is that it builds up your entire site, not just the pages that you're creating. And so what content actually works now? Blog content that builds topical authority is not top of funnel like it used to be. AI is obviously answering those questions. And middle of funnel content is where the opportunity lives. And so what no longer works is your generic, how to cook pasta or how-to guides or things like that. Top of funnel informational content and content that doesn't connect to a buying decision doesn't really work. We don't bother doing it anymore. What we do is focus on comparison content. So, gas pizza oven versus wood-fired pizza oven, best aftermarket parts for a car model. It's a buyer's guide, things like that always helps. People comparing options before they buy is good. Again, comparison content. And then just middle of funnel content with clear purchase intent. So it's not just your generic trying to get traffic, how-to content. It's content that actually helps a user in the purchasing decision. And so when a topical authority is built correctly, it lifts your entire site. So collection pages sitting in position 8 start climbing without you having to touch them because the overall authority of your domain has grown. And this is the compounding effect that makes SEO so different to paid ads. And the fifth thing that you need to rank first on Google is quality backlinks from relevant sites. Everything covered so far will get you to page 1 if you do it correctly and if you wait long enough, but quality backlinks are what is going to get you to position 1. So the brands stuck on position 4 to 5 will almost always have the same problem, and it's either having no links at all or a profile full of cheap or irrelevant links. And so, for example, I've got a client that has thousands of backlinks. Their competitors have thousands of backlinks, but only like 5 to 7 of those were from genuinely good websites when we analyzed them. And then my client has 22 quality domains pointing to their site, and we outrank those competitors, even though those competitors have thousands more backlinks and have been doing it for years longer, because the links that we get are super relevant. So a relevant link from a site in your niche tells Google far more than 100 links from random websites that have nothing to do with what you sell. So the links that we focus on mainly for e-commerce brands are link insertions. I think guest posts, there's so much more work involved in getting the guest post ranking. Link insertions, they're the easiest, they're the most like bang for your buck essentially. And you can target pages that have traffic already, that have quality domains linking to them already, and you can leverage that into your content by getting a backlink on that page. So that's the kind of the links that we focus on. So to build links the right way, spread links across your site, distribute links across your homepage, collection pages, and blog posts. Never point everything at one specific page. It doesn't look natural. And also don't necessarily build links to product pages because again, it doesn't look natural. And when your internal linking is set up correctly, you don't really need to. The other thing, relevance over volume. A relevant link from a site in your niche is worth more than dozens of links from unrelated websites. So even if it takes longer, even if it costs more, it's so much better to get a relevant link that's similar to your niche than just random ones. And also avoid monthly link packages. This is just my opinion, but I think that any kind of provider that is giving you a set number of links per month is a potential red flag, because real link building is finding the best available link with your budget that month, not just hitting a number on a deliverables list. And so this is the thing that I notice a lot of people fall into, where they're just getting a link package because they need backlinks and they want to make sure they get backlinks. And that's where you end up just getting volume over relevance, which is not what you want to do. So those are the 5 things that you need to rank first in Google: keyword research, on-page optimization, internal linking structure, topical authority, and high quality backlinks. So you need to make sure that your site has every single one of those if you want to rank first, and more importantly, if you want to make money in e-commerce from SEO. So every brand I've worked with that has followed this process has seen their organic revenue increase dramatically. And that's not because we did anything, revolutionary. We just followed this process and we followed these kind of 5 principles here. And by doing so, all the brands I'm working with are making more money now from organic Google search than they ever had before. So if you're an e-commerce brand owner and you want to start focusing on things like this and ranking organically and making more revenue organically, click the first link in the description. You can book a call. We'll go through a live site audit with you together to show you real analysis of the keyword targeting that you're missing, the on-page setup, the internal linking, all the things we've covered in this video. I'll go through that together with you live and show you how we can get your store ranking and making more money, see if we're a good fit. And if not, then hopefully get you in the right direction to make more money with Google search.